Taliban in Afghanistan. They can't do anything once they flee back across to the Pakistani border. They're not willing to go to war with Pakistan. It's a very big country, and it also has nukes. So trying to compare, even say they're the same thing, it's a little bit silly.
It's Afghanistan, Iran have the same type of geography.
No, you missed the point. You missed the fucking point. When the Taliban flees into Pakistan, Pakistan's a sovereign country. Pakistan will respond if they end up if Russia was to drop any bombs or send any troops across their fucking border. Then they can end up fleeing back. A huge part of Kurdish region of the Pashto region is along the Pakistani border with Afghanistan.
Where we catch Bin Laden, so your argument is wrong. We went to Afghanistan, to Pakistan if we want. We catch the Bin Laden there. So that's not our.
That was a pinpoint raid. They had to use stealth helicopters where they didn't even. War. We didn't even know that. Most people in the military did not even know the stealth technology for those helicopters existed. They had to fly those helicopters, hoping that the Pakistan wasn't going to shoot them out of the sky. That was a pinpoint raid. They sent in just a small team. And that's a whole different than like an invading force or dropping, huge munitions or something like that.
Bro,
they went after one guy.
You guys are saying Russia tried it and lost, bro.
They went to Afghanistan and lost.
Bro, they just went over to another country, bro. You gotta understand. Fam, you gotta understand, when you're invading over to another country that's not even in the fucking war, that's like say, okay, for example, me and you fighting and fucking Matt jumps in on one of us. That's kind of how it is. You get what I'm saying? That's how it is. Bro, it's not the same thing. If we want to fucking knock off Iran, we can knock off Iran, bro. They still have fucking 1965 fucking warfare weapons over there, bro. You're talking about something totally different.
Did you see
the 30-pound bomb can penetrate up to 25 feet of ground? It's like there's no tunnel you can dig that we can't fucking reach it into.
I'm gonna jump right back in here. I'm just gonna get a new voice. I think Pat, you want to jump in and say something? Go for it, dude. If you want to go for it, if you're there, Pat. Okay, I guess continue on. Never mind.
I'm just curious with Kiko.
Hang on.
What?
Inomi wanted to speak real quick. Just real quick. Say something.
Hi everyone. I'm guessing you guys are Trump supporters. You guys support Trump?
All right, let's go back to the conversation.
That's a good guess. That's a good guess. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on the beautiful bill. What are you guys' opinions on that?
It is one thing that we're removing $1 trillion in fraud. I think it's the best thing for our country. $1 trillion in Medicaid fraud will protect Medicaid. God bless.
What is fraud to you?
My tax cut.
Fraud is the exact thing that the government has recorded for the last 25 years since this program has been going. $500 billion to $1 trillion a year stolen in fraud, nursing homes, Medicaid, Social Security. Actual fraud funneled over to Russia, India, other countries. $1 trillion. $1 trillion. That's a sixth of our total national budget.
Yeah, we added to what that.
You're talking to someone.
Hold on, Imoni. Are we ready to change the topic to the?
No, let's go back to the other topic. I was just I like to own her real quick. I'm really fat with my house.
Unless you're an expert on ballistics and international.
I read the whole 100 pages.
Yeah, but we're not. We're talking about nuclear weapons right now.
We can, Abby.
Are we gonna pivot? Hold on, Imoni.
No, we won't pivot. We'll continue with the nuke situation, and then we can go to the big, beautiful. You know what? So. But yeah, continue on with that.
What is the point of this conversation? This Kiko guy who has a foreign flag in his fucking profile. He's obviously anti-American.
It's not a foreign flag, dude.
Huh?
It's not a foreign flag.
What is it? It's a cross.
Yes, sir.
Oh. Why are you booty clapping for Iran? And
I'm twerking for Iran. I'm not twerking for Iran. I'm actually kind of concerned.
Are you shaking ass for Iran? That's the question.
Yeah, I'm not shaking ass for Iran. I'm actually kind of concerned about the move that the president did. And I feel like this, because I because I feel like the next response is going to be boots on the ground.
Why do you
And you guys,
Whoa. Well, let's talk about that because I heard you say it before. So let's talk about that because most of us in the room do not believe that boots on the ground are the next move at all on this. If there are boots on the ground, there might likely be Israeli boots on the ground, but not U.S.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a coalition effort, but I feel like the U.S. is going to have to, at some point, our boots are going to have to come up.
Kiko, let's talk about that coalition because when they shot the rockets over to Israel, when the Houthis were shooting, also which is a proxy of Iran, every Gulf state, from Saudi, Jordan, even Egypt, along with the NATO alliance, came in. The first time when they shot the rockets back in April, they came in as a coalition to stop it. And in this last go around, you had the Arab nations and the Gulf nations all aligning with the West, with the US and Israel to stop it. So that coalition is kind of the rest of the world minus North Korea and Russia, and maybe China, but I think China wouldn't get involved. So that coalition is a lot of countries that have issues with Iran. Oh, I forgot about, if you want to add in, I did say the Gulf states, the Emiratis, the Bahrain, how you say that?
He might still booty clap for Iran.
Yeah, every one of those nations.
I mean, if that's what you want to call it, I'm not booty clapping. I don't want to. All I'm saying is that we're going to have boots on the ground in the coming years.
We're not
that's
going
going to be a bad. Okay, that's going to be a bad choice.
Kiko, the problem is though, is that I'll just be frank here. Nobody. That would be highly unpopular in America. Unlike right after, not too long after 9/11 in 2003, when there was already some momentum going, and we went into Iraq. This is not popular, and there's a lot of, especially when it comes to aiding even Israel. It's not. A lot of Americans are pretty reluctant to do it at this point. In terms of like the population, so I don't really see us. I don't see any president willing to do something that unpopular.
By the way, let me just say something here real quick. So the people in this room, most of them know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, people that have been in the military, people that are Jewish, people that are Iranian. There's different people in here that know different things, but they actually know their shit because they've studied it for years and years and years. And so it's one of those things when you bring something along, like what Kiko was saying, and you get kind of the response you get, that's the reason why. So I just want to let you know that.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. I mean, just because you guys agree on something, because you guys are educated, doesn't mean it's right.
I don't see validation for it. Like, I want you to explain why you see that happening.
Because, what is the next response? You guys say, continue bombing Iran. And I just mentioned...
Who said that? I don't think that we should bomb them.
Everybody on here said if we want to get rid of Iran, all we have to do is bomb Iran.
You're talking about a hypothetical, but nobody here, I think, is even... I don't think there's a... We already hit the nuclear target. Like, why do we need to do anything?
Kiko.
For now, yeah. Why would we do anything?
Did you not see the fact that after we did what we did you not see Iran wanted peace with us?
No,
now,
they don't.
Israel, yes, they did. They literally wanted a fucking peace agreement with us. They wanted a peace treaty with us, bro. Did you not see all of that go down after that?
And there are three different players in this whole conflict with three different motivations. Iran and Israel kind of have the same motivation. They want the U.S. to get the hell out of the Middle East. U.S.'s motivation is to destroy Iran, and the Israeli motivation is to destroy the U.S. and Iran. the Israeli state wants Iran and the U.S. to go to war to make that happen.
No, they don't.
Wait, what?
You have no authority for that.
Why would, okay, listen, bro. Why would Israel want the only friend that they've had for the past fucking 5 conflicts that they fucking
Well, he's not. So it depends on which. Are there people like the former head of the Mossad? He did an interview with 60 Minutes, and was he basically saying that like he wanted us to attack Iran because it would be beneficial?
It's not in the government,
Not anymore. But I'm saying, like, is there sentiment? Has that sentiment been expressed?
Yeah,
Sure.
but he's not in the
I don't-
government, and that's not the position of
But
government.
yeah, that's because
It's
he was
just
a former
wrong,
Mossad.
Pepe. It's just fucking wrong, and it's like a trope. It's not the position of the government, and they can fight their own battles. The only thing they couldn't do is they don't have cluster, whatever. They don't. Thank you. But they fought their own battle. They were in there for 10 days, already bombing and taking out. I mean, what planet do you not make?
But nobody's saying that we have that
They
planet.
have never had American boots on the ground to fight their battles. They have
Nobody
lost
said
their
that they had that plan right now.
boys. They
No,
lose their own soldiers. What the hell, Pepe? They have never had U.S. troops on the
I
ground.
never
They
said
have
that.
lost
I
their
said that
own
he's probably
soldiers.
talking about sentiment that he's heard, where because he made the claim Israelis want the U.S. to go to war for Iran. Now that is a common talking point because you do have people that were government officials. Obviously, he wasn't Mossad at the time, where he wouldn't be saying that kind of shit. I mean, yeah, you get that sentiment's been expressed. I have no way of knowing how popular that sentiment is in the Israeli government, personally.
Well, when it comes to the opinion of what the IDF has in this war, we should not take it as the Americans as anything more than 19-year-olds because that's their average age. We have an average age of a volunteer army of 28 years old. We are the adults in the room, so it doesn't matter what Israel wants, it's what we are doing, and we will not get involved with boots on.
We would never put boots on the ground. We will put F-22 Raptors in the sky before we put boots on the ground. And that's just simple.
Yes.
Because you gotta understand, they haven't even seen warfare yet. The fucking Raptor hasn't seen warfare, bro. That thing is a fucking monster.
Yeah, like Abby said, we will support their boots on the ground if it came to it. But we will not. We may put advisory boots on the ground like we always do, but not like combat.
Kiko, you will see that fucking Raptor, you will hear that fucking monstrous sound of that fucking jet engine hit the fucking sky before you even think that you can put boots on the ground against us. We will that Raptor will fuck up every single Israeli fucking Iranian fuck.
All right, now if Iran attacked the U.S. homeland with some sort of missile attack, we'll put boots on the fucking ground then, I can guarantee that.
They attack
The thing is,
American bases.
oh yeah, and then you'll see that motherfucking Raptor floating fucking like a UFO in the sky.
Forgetting what you just said. They've attacked American bases. Their proxies have attacked American ships and American bases. It's not just Israel that they sent missiles to. We are also protecting ourselves. Like, you're forgetting that. Also, back up. You want to go, I could read the list to you of what else Iran has done to America since 1979 when they decided to take citizens, blindfold them, and keep them as hostages for 444 days. They also bombed our Marines in Lebanon. They bombed in Saudi Arabia. The embassy, we can go through the list of what they've been behind with their proxies between the Hezbollah, the Houthis, and Hamas proxies. I mean, come on. I'm not done. I'm trying to take out our Secretary of State and assassinate our Secretary of State. How about trying to assassinate the ambassador of Saudi Arabia in a restaurant in Georgetown? Assassinate the president of our country, assassinate the ambassador from Israel in the United States, assassinate another member of our cabinet, all of which, thank God, were foiled. But this is Iran. Do you think this is just a casual...
You see 43 fucking guys drinking and having a fucking party, fend off fucking 9 missiles coming from Iran, directly from Iran. And you're sitting there talking about, with a boots on the ground. It's not fair for them to put boots on the ground against us. Why the fuck would we put
Listen,
boots on the ground?
guys, wait a minute.
It's not fair.
Well, strategically, This is our strategic position. Hold on, real quick. There's a reason we have these bases in other countries, because when they launch missiles at like our Qatar base or our Kuwaiti base, they're not just launching missiles at us. They're launching missiles into their airspace. So that involves Qatar, that involves Kuwait, that involves Jordan, who then as well gets angry at that aggression. And they are involved in the defense of this area now against Iran. So they've done more than just piss us off. And luckily, our placement has made it where we strategically get them to attack their neighboring nations in that way, where they're sending missiles into the airspace of controlled countries. And that's a great thing.
Listen,
that's fucking smart.
Saudis did 9/11. What you guys did to Saudis?
The Saudi government
Nothing.
did
16
not do
terrorists was Saudis.
No,
Bin Laden was Saudis.
Mark, you and I got into this before. The Saudi government.
Yeah, you don't do anything.
Yeah, Saudi nationals are not equal to Saudi government.
Was threatened by the same dude that came into the U.S. He wanted to take out the kingdom. It's the same enemy.
How
So
many
what are you talking
Saudis
about?
were among
They
the
were separate
9/11?
citizens. There wasn't
the
something.
enemy. I think primarily the Iranian.
Yeah, it's got to be something.
It doesn't matter. Come on, 2 plus 2. You guys afraid of Saudis because they have money and oil, and
No,
you will never
because
touch
they're
them.
an ally of our
Hypocrisy.
country.
Hypocrisy.
Well, that's like blaming the Saudis for 9/11 is like blaming Syria for ISIS. Syria and ISIS are two different things. Syrians are not ISIS, even if ISIS members may be confused.
May I?
125. No, never.
Alright.
Saudis attack
Wait,
you.
wait,
Why
wait.
did Bin Laden
You
want to
afraid?
take out the kingdom? Why did
Man.
Bin Laden want to take out the kingdom?
Who's speaking?
Explain that.
Is that sir? Yes, sir. Yeah, go. What do you want? Yep. Like, well, the idea that, like, you know, when you want to kill people, like, what the hell is your point when you do it without, like, moral, like, ethical background?
Dude, you're too drunk to have.
Yeah, it's wonderful to have Doc.
That's
Teach
Doc.
us morals. I'll tell you.
Yes, Doc.
Okay, they.
Well, I mean, I'm listening y'all talk stupid shit this whole time.
Doc, how many men have you killed?
They killed our U.S.
Not enough.
Well, that's the thing, is I know that you've killed many men, so don't preach us morals, you know? I mean,
Well, I mean, when I was in Iraq, when I tell you that I killed more people than I got fingers and toes, like, I'll tell you 80% were Saudi Arabian. They weren't even Iraqi. And I killed them. I killed them in Iraq. Like, you know, I didn't kill a bunch of Iraqis.
Just, you know.
how did you confirm those kills?
Like straight up.
Yeah, how did you confirm those kills?
Because we had the IMARS.
No, I mean, how did you
it was-
confirm that they were Saudis? I understand that you may have confirmed that their body parts flew into pieces.
No, because of, like, you know, the fingerprint and the retinal scan, the Heinz system.
I thought they were turning into pink dust or something.
Well, pink mist, you know,
Yeah.
only
Pink mist is
if
the
you got hit by a JDAM.
Okay, got it.
Hey, Doc.
Better off on the BBB bill.
Hey, Doc. Thank you for your service, by the way. Thank
Well,
you.
I'm just saying, I killed more Saudi Arabians
Oh my
in Iraq
God.
than I did Iraqis in Iraq.
All right, so where are we going now? Where do you want to go with this conversation at?
Just do.
Well, the big, beautiful bill has no tax on tips. It is amazing. It's been passed. So if you are a tipped worker, you will now make 30% more income, is what is estimated. It's amazing stuff. Somebody's saying thumbs down. They do not agree with no tax on tips.
I think this bill fucking sucks.
So we could talk about this. Yeah.
I don't agree on no tax on
That means that it gets
so.
a blowback. Go ahead, Sarah. Yeah.
So I'll tell you guys why I don't agree with it. I mean, I haven't seen the exact how it's changing, but I live in Los Angeles. If two people, we go out right now to have dinner and a couple of drinks, we're going to pay $200. The culture here where I live is minimum 15% tip. If we're cheap, we're going to leave that waiter $30. We're going to be there for like an hour. At the same time, the waiter is actually serving minimum 3-4 other people. That's $120. They're getting paid 17.75 cents an hour. Why does a waiter has to get paid more than a teacher or a professor, or even in some cases doctors?
Are you arguing that more money in Americans' pockets is bad? Because I disagree.
No. I am not saying that. Do not manipulate what I said, James.
No.
If you
Well,
want
that's what it is. That's more money in some American citizens' pockets instead of the government's pockets.
James, how dare you?
Your pocket to
So
their
if
pocket.
you decrease tax, do it for everyone. I don't understand what is this tip thing, because I do believe, at least where I live, people are getting tipped very, very good.
So I'll disagree
Okay, that's
with
why
you.
you see.
I'll take
That's
you
why
on
you see
this,
waiter
Sarah.
and waitresses. That's why you see waiter and waitresses that they're in like their 40s and 50s, where serving was the job of students in the past.
Sarah, I live in a city, 1 in 5 people where I live are tipped employees. 1 in 5 residents are tipped. That's pretty significant.
No, you don't. Why are you lying?
Absolutely know where I live and who lives here.
Dude,
1
I
in 5
love
are
20%. 20%'s a good percentage.
However, it will dramatically change where I am and dramatically affect people being able to afford now. I mean, also, these same tipped employees were the second most audited in the nation of professions. People that are in
Dude,
the
I'm
tip.
thinking about opening a bagel store.
I
Anyway,
heard
so
they
I disagree. I agree that it puts more money in their pockets, but it's also, these are
Well, I
people
do want to. I also
long
want
hours, graveyard shifts. They're very hard. It's not an easy life. A lot of the cocktail servers, the dealers, I mean, they work very long hours, and I think it's.
Would it be
And
safe
it
to
was
say?
born here, by the way.
Yeah, I was
This
gonna say-
idea came here from a cocktail server.
Do you think it maybe it's like maybe designed for a place like you? This is perfectly designed, and maybe not for other places. I don't know. Because like Sarah's saying, it's like in LA, you know, we're tipping. But the thing is, it's like it's probably set up for tipping, and like that makes sense. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's very specific. I don't know. But
Well, I noticed that in Sarah's argument, she said they get paid maybe more than a doctor, and that presents like an aristocratic type of ideology, a class ideology, where this low-down, help-class person who's a waiter is not supposed to make as much money as somebody else. And the fact is you're the one tipping them. You don't have to tip them. If they're making that money, you don't have to fucking give them anything. You're the one giving them the tip.
James, if a teacher is paying whatever percent
tip your
tax
teachers.
they're paying for the same amount of fucking money, so should the waiter and waitress.
Tip your teachers then. Why are you not tipping your teachers,
Well,
Sarah?
hold on,
It sounds like a problem of you and not the society around you.
Yeah, Sarah sounds like a cheap bitch.
Hey,
hold on, she's
who
talking.
called me a bitch?
You said that, yeah.
No idea. I did not say that. I do not call women bitches.
Either way,
He said-
let's make something clear. Either way, we can have different opinions. That's why we're not like fucking a cult of lefties where they have to agree on everything. That's number one. Number two, I do agree with Abby and everybody else because this is what I'm gonna do. I'm a very generous. Well, I used to be a very generous tipper, but I'm
Why
probably.
you lying? You're a cheap bitch.
That is Hakima down there at the bottom. That's Hakima who said it. You
No,
really wrong.
send to the audience.
Kima did not.
Well, I will
No,
say,
that was
imagine
not
this.
it.
Imagine your waiter makes more money, and now your waiter
That
is
was
more
not
insurance.
Hakima.
I got the weird edit. Go ahead, Sarah.
Yeah, that's it. So I guess people do have the choice of putting more money in their pocket by tipping less now.
Well, here's the thing. Property tax is set at the local rate. So if you make more money, then you can now pay higher property tax. You can now pay into the education system, which pays the teachers more. You now have insurance that you're able to afford, which now pays the doctors more. If the lower class people make more money, then the exact people you're talking about that make money now will make more money on top. That's the exact intention.
James,
It makes total logical sense.
James, we're already paying a lot of tax in California.
Economics.
No, that's
I
trickle
heard
up
they cut-
economics, not trickle down economics.
I heard
Whenever you
they-
say trickle down economics shows that you lack the logical understanding of how the system works. That if the person at the bottom can now afford groceries, can now afford luxury, then the people who supply the luxury, that supply the grocery, that supply the healthcare, that supply the education, benefit from those people making more money instead of being bottom dollar on welfare with less money being taxed away to the federal government in tax and tips. Now they get it, or to the state government in tax and tips. They now are taxed instead that money used for property taxes, for healthcare, for insurance. They have more money. Everybody else has more money. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Absolutely not for health insurance.
People in San Diego, California, people that are working at In-N-Out and the fast food restaurants are making anywhere between $18 and $25 an hour, so they can afford whatever lifestyle that they want. They can afford it now, as it was when I was young, and the minimum wage is $4.25. People can afford it.
I noticed that you guys said that a stripper makes more than a doctor, and that's true. And that stripper also makes her plastic surgeon more rich than Elon Musk. You see how it trickles up?
It does trickle out, yeah.
When she buys a boat, guess what? That guy who sells the boat just got a commission check. When she goes and buys some McDonald's, the McDonald's now has more money. That the money trickled.
And they buy
Right.
houses.
So
Do we have Sap? Do you want to go? Yeah, Sap, I want you to go because this is your subject. Go for it. Go ahead.
who? Me?
You're the one that wants
yeah.
to talk about this. Go ahead.
So I just want to talk about college students, the portion. I read that they want to take out about $2,000 away from the Pell Grant, and that is not okay for people who can't, afford college. So I don't know why you guys support this bill. Why do you guys support this?
Well, for you to be an expert and not know that the Pell Grant was mostly unaffected by this bill, it's crazy that you're not.
What? Okay, but
It took one Google search for me to see that 3 hours ago it was posted by the most liberal news agency in Los Angeles that the Pell Grant was unaffected.
No, it's not. It's not there. It's not there. Where'd you pull that from?
I gave you the link.
They canceled
Oh,
the
do you not know how to read links too?
And they canceled the Graduate Plus loan, and they've put a limit. They put a cap on how much money you can get as loans. This is funny because just a week ago, I think it was, right, Pepe, we were talking about this, and I was literally saying how many ways people are like cheating the system, not having any goals of getting degrees, and they just keep staying in college and school for forever. So you just can't do that anymore. You got to get your fucking degree and get the fuck out and get a job. That's one big, change. Now, there is another change which I really like. If you cannot defer your loan anymore. However, if you're not making enough money, you have to make $10 a month payment. $10 a month payment will not kill anyone. But do you know how many people are on deferment and how much money that's going to generate by just adding the $10 a month? I think that's a very smart thing to do. So we might have differences in this area too.
What about cuts on national parks? Is it true and is it okay? The funds for keeping the national parks.
They got rid of subsidized loans. They were
National parks.
You have to pay.
I don't know about the parks. That's not my field, though. I know about education and healthcare. That's it.
Education. Oh my God, your education is crazy. Anyways, but under this bill you have to pay interest on subsidized loans. Are you guys for that? The subsidized loans were supposed to be like whole interest while you're in school. Be quiet, please. Whole interest while you're in school, right? And it's supposed to, the interest starts 6 months after, but they want to eliminate that. So you guys are with that also, or?
Look, there are parts of the bill that I like. There are parts of it I don't like. That's just me personally, right? But at the end of the day, I don't think there's any way to keep everyone happy. But I prefer seeing these cuts from the loans and these modifications versus, seeing no changes, because there is a loophole there. It needs to stop. As a college professor, let me say this. As a college professor, I'm sick and tired of having to deal with students who just come to classes they register, take a class, they have no intention of learning anything, but then I have to deal with them because they just are taking some loans out, and then they go and get their hair and nails done, and once in a while they show up to class because they don't want their ass to be dropped from the class. Like, it's honestly, it's kind of sickening because at the end of the day, that's the tax we're paying.
But so limiting student loans. Who are you? What are these group of people you're referring to? Because it sounds like almost racist.
The youth. She's talking about the youth. Yeah,
You're gonna try to pull that card. Amazing.
She said nothing. She said nothing about ethnicity or culture. She said the youth.
The youth. Okay. So we're all just.
No, I didn't talk about the race, but to be honest with you, I actually see this more in white students versus black and brown students. If that answers your question. Usually the black and brown students that they're in the school, they actually are in the school because they just want to, like, you know, they try to, like, they're more serious. This is my experience in general. So if that's like the angle you want to play, I didn't really mean this has to do anything with color, but of course you're a black woman, so you just want to drag racism into this.
You know, I was gonna say that I think it was kind of fucked up that they're reducing state Medicaid and SNAP benefits, but I don't know, if it keeps food out of your mouth, it's probably a good thing.
So
Why you guys get disrespectful? Is it because I'm younger than you guys? Is that what it is? I'm younger than you guys.
If you're younger, why can't you use Google? What the hell's your problem? You should know how to use that.
I know how to use it. I'm reading it right now. I'm reading the bill right now and see if the Pilgrim thing's on it.
A little dumber.
Because I swear I seen they were going to take $2,000.
All right, what's the page in line?
I think ChatGPT's faster.
You're reading it right now, page in line.
Dude, I don't use ChatGPT.
Imani or whatever your name is. With an Ivy? Are you enrolled in a private university? What kind of university?
A public university.
You go to a public, a state school?
Yes.
And does your state school subsidize? Are you an in-state resident at your state university? Is it a university or are you in a community?
I'm a university.
Okay, does your state subsidize? Are you in-state?
Yeah, I'm in-state, yes.
So you pay less than, you have a subsidy through the state.
Like a deal.
Yeah, I pay.
What's your tuition?
I pay less.
What's your tuition?
I don't know. Like,
You don't know?
I don't look at it often.
Well,
I know.
Wait, you're enrolled at a university, but you don't know what the tuition is at your university?
Listen, my tuition is more
Then what?
than, please. My tuition is more than others because I'm in college engineering. So it's more. And I think it's like $400, per credit. Let me see.
What do you pay annually for your university tuition?
Like 18,000.
You're paying $18,000, and that's tuition, or is that room, board, and tuition?
Just tuition. I'm not on campus.
What public school costs $18,000? I'm confused.
$18,000 a year.
I went to private school.
$6,000
I
per
went
term.
to private school, and a master's degree costed me less than $60K for a private school.
That's
for
a
public
year.
school, private school. So I don't understand. What are you saying? 18,000? How does 18,000?
That's a year. A year, because I pay around $6,000 for my classes. I take 16 credits.
Why are you
What are you
screaming?
not understanding? What are you not understanding?
Which school is this? I want to look up these numbers.
You're not looking at my school. I don't give out.
Yeah, then we're not going to entertain this conversation because public schools, they don't charge you $18,000.
No, I just said per term is $6,000. So it's about $18,000 because I'm college engineering. It would be less if I'm not college engineering.
Is that really a thing? That, like,
Wait,
my state university didn't charge you more for your major?
engineering? Yeah, Pepe, I'm a little. What are you on you're on a trimester, or you're on you're 3 different semesters in a year, or do you have a work study program in engineering, like some engineering schools? Like, when is that more money on tuition as an undergraduate? Are you in a work study?
No, I'm not on a work
So are you on
They charge more tuition. They charge more tuition because of college of engineering. They do it for college of business out here. They charge more. It's more.
What state is this?
What state? What state?
It's Oregon. God damn it, Oregon.
And I checked the UCs, the University of California, they charge close to $17,000 a year, but they're not like public. They're like partially private or something like that.
Tism.
By the way, we're just trying to understand. We're just trying to understand what it is you're going through, and not only that, but in business, and you're going to college for, engineering and business and stuff like that. And if you don't know the numbers, then people are gonna think twice about listening. So that's the reason why we're all trying to figure it out, because we're just trying to understand. If you're for real or not.
So I looked it up. I mean, just a simple Google search. It says, yes, at some Oregon universities, engineering majors are charged a higher tuition rate than some other majors. Let me see what the source for that was. So it gives a bunch of.
Okay, what's her argument? What's her argument? What is she saying? She's saying that she's priced out of going to school? Like I'm lost earlier.
The bill is going to make me go into more debt than I am.
Why don't you get off the internet and go get a
Are you
second job?
looking for a job that's paying for some of that debt? Isn't that the goal of you going to college, is to get a good job?
I'm Listen, 16 credits. I have a job.
The entire point of you going to get these college credits.
I mean, if she's in college, she's not going to be able to pay back her fucking debt right now. So just that's not a good argument.
It's time to be on the internet.
Okay, so if the purpose of her going to get to college and having this debt is to not get a good job to pay for the debt, then you shouldn't have gone to college in the first place.
So the one line thing is always useful.
I'm a type of major that I will be able to pay my debt once I get a better.
Then you're going to be fine. Good luck. See, now we've all heard it. You're going to be able to pay.
Hey dude. So let us all scream at her at one time, because that will get a lot accomplished. No. Okay, not that I'm saying I agree with you, but I'm not going to jump in with the rest of the mob, okay? And whoever gave the good suggestion to say, hey, that's why we can't have a problem with trusting you. Yeah, that is legit. But in her defense, and I will want this as a general reminder, I mean, just because the people on stage, and I don't know if replays are on or not, Clubhouse does it, it's smart to not, dox yourself. So she did good by that. Now, that's the information she gave, that's enough. I can tell you right now that I worked full time, yes, either waiting tables or whatever, or as a TA, teaching assistant to grade papers and shit, while going to college full time, and self-inflicted third trimester towards the end during summers, just so that I could get the hell out of there, because tuition had gotten to it. And I'm talking about a regular state school in Alabama. So she's in Oregon. Yeah, it's probably freaking expensive. I'm going to give her that. But this bill is going to hold people, and I'm not just saying to you, sweetheart, I'm saying to the youth in general, it's going to hold your little asses accountable. So when you sign promissory notes and you say that you're going to pay it back, it doesn't mean you're going to retire in college. And it does mean that whether you finish or not, you said as a grown-ass adult, I'm going to take this money out regardless. We don't give a shit what you spend it on. We hope that it's for books and stuff. But I'm going to take this money out from the government, and I'm going to pay it back. Nobody else is going to pay it back for me. I'm going to pay it back. And it has a lot of provisions in there to hold, students accountable. And I think that once you're back, out of this whole, even if you're working part-time and going to college full-time, or if you're just going to school, when you're in the workforce and you're fighting for that job that you went to college for and stuff, and you're trying to, move up, you'll see the weighted importance of why things like this is not just to the benefit of some people, it's for all Americans. I mean, but that's just me. Anyway. That was a lot. Happy 4th. I love you guys. Love Sarah. Love all the mods too. Matt, Sarah, Abby. This is a good room. Okay, I'm gonna.
Are the senior citizens you know the capital as well when they get kicked off the Medicare?
So I have a question. Are you civil engineering, electrical, or chemical? Oh, Naomi, are you civil engineering?
Excuse me, young lady. You need to stop screaming at people.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm asking you, are you civil engineering?
Act like you have some sense.
Electrical, chemical? What kind of engineering are you studying?
Software, computer science.
So what are you studying? Computer science, not engineering in the sense of like electrical or civil.
No.
But you're in the school, and so computer science is in the School of Engineering?
The College of Engineering, yes.
Oh, God bless. I gotta talk to her one more time.
What? Who are you?
I'm just gonna say, like, from a perspective of someone that, like, they don't. If you have academic advisors and they don't get really nitty gritty, and I mean, like, they need to be your most talked to more than your mom, annoying person that you obsessively, like a preacher. If it isn't down to a refined, and I don't just mean like business management, I mean you're going with a focus in human resource, or you're gonna have your CPA along with like accounting. It's not just like accounting 1 and 2, because when you leave there with like a general major, like, that's wonderful. Good luck swimming in a sea, in a country that has a sea of people just like you, many of which will go to Ivy League schools and shit. So it gets harder and harder the less refined it is. And I don't think that's where Abby was going with this, but dear God, if there's any little tiny piece of advice that I can give you, is just be smart and specific.
Where I was going is people that are in the schools of engineering have a lot of relatives, including my present assistant is in school right now in engineering, who works 2 jobs, works as does assistant and also works in engineering, but she's it's civil engineering. So when you're doing chemical or civil or electrical, usually there's most colleges, they have the work study programs where they can work in their fields. I don't know with computer how that works. Maybe you guys do.
It's not. Like, engineering is so different. God, I wish I could have done my brother-in-law who did electrical engineering.
Yeah, but schools like Drexel, like these big engineering schools, they do work study.
And Abby, everyone is approved for 20 hours a week work study. I mean, you can go work in the coffee shop, like in the store, like you can work anywhere. Like, when you're in school, you just can work and get a job and get paid. And I don't know what people are complaining about. And I just wanted to add one sentence. Let me tell you something.
Why'd she call us racist? And you can ask her that too.
What is it?
Why'd she call us racist?
I'm so confused. Is it because I'm old? I don't know.
Look, I want to say one more thing, and you might take this harsh, but just take it as because I'm like an educator. I really am an educator, and I'm just saying this as like an educator to you. If you got time to be on Clubhouse, that means you do have time to work more and take less loan out. So if you don't like the amount of loan that you're taking, you should just literally get a job. And I don't know why you're complaining. Like, I don't remember having the time. Listen, but you are complaining about the amount of your loan. If you want less loan, you do have time. You have free time. You're on Clubhouse right now in this moment.
I think you're talking about the bill.
You could be tutoring someone and getting paid $30 an hour right now, but you chose to be on Clubhouse. That's all I'm saying.
It's literally summertime. You think I'm going to go out and be a tutor?
No, we're supposed to go to work.
You'd be very surprised how many people are actually out there tutoring.
Have to go and pay it.
Between semesters, you can work to save more money and then take less loan. I don't know which part of this is funny for you to like.
I know, I was like, well, she said that shit about summer.
That's why I'm laughing.
Is this the entitlement thing that I was
You damn straight it's entitlement. You're hearing it live.
Please tell me how it's entitlement. How am I being entitled?
Dad gets to take the summer vacation off to get a tan? No, No, they have to work year round.
You paid your debt. Good job. Good job.
Okay,
Good job.
I want to say
I'm
something.
reading the document of the the big beautiful bill, and I see that they're trying to take $2,000 away from.
Did you read it?
Yes, I'm reading it right now.
Did you read?
Hello?
Page in line.
Read it. The whole.
Yeah, we want to hear word for word. If you're reading it and know exactly what it says, read it to us. But
Okay, what section was it? Was it C? Let's see. D, subtitle, not section. I'm stupid.
on what page?
Yeah. It's 732. Let's see. Adjusted income. Okay.
Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Fuck 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July, too.
Happy 4th of July.
That's horrible to say that.
We're not free. This is a
Are you
dictatorship.
American?
This
Are you
is
an
a
American?
dictatorship.
You know how many people died for your ass to be on Clubhouse right now?
I'm confused. Why do we not hear a page and
Why do you have the
subsection?
country
Why do you
live
all of a
in
sudden
so
start
bad?
yelling
It
dictatorship?
says right now. It says alleged. Sorry, I have a thing. I need it. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Take your time.
Whatever. I don't care. I'm not saying it. Foreign income and federal program. Adjusted gross income defined. It's not even saying anything.
Okay.
It's talking about what you need to do for it to qualify. That's it.
You mean that it expanded the Pell Grant and it has a new program
No,
called
it
the
did
Workforce
not.
Pell Grant? Oh my God!
It's helping.
They did not expand it. They did. That's literally the same.
No, it's not the same. It's the same. It's worse. It's not expanded. I'm not sure we should listen to a fucking word you have to say. I'm sorry. I may be harsher than everybody else on the stage, but I think you have the IQ of a.
Because you're like that because you're a white cisgender man. Okay.
You know
I'm like that because I'm right and you're wrong.
Don't say that.
No, you.
Can I say something? Can I say something? Can I say something? I'm gonna break in about. Yeah, can I say something? Can I say something? Because I have a Pell Grant.
Pockets.
Yeah, because I have a Pell Grant, and I love my Pell Grant. But a Pell Grant for the one big beautiful bill, it actually expands the Pell Grant eligibility to like include the students who are working in training programs, or in institutions where they can just get credits for the work that they want to get in. It does introduce restrictions based on enrollment levels, but it does expand the eligibility for that Pell Grant depending on their program. So someone saying is working, like for me, I went into school specifically to get credited for being an MA. So I just got my Pell Grant for that. And it actually ended up paying for my entire schooling. I don't have to pay it back, thank God, because I would have owed like $50,000. But I got that grant specifically because I was working in the medical field. So you are eligible. The eligibility has expanded, but there are some restrictions on whatever you're studying. But it does.
And once again, it took me 3 seconds on Google to see that.
You didn't get the answer in.
Only thing that makes sense is how they're gonna become they take off the Pell Grant when you have this other stuff that pays for it. That's the only thing that makes sense in the bill. But other things does not make sense. Like where is it? I swear I've seen it. It said something about $2,000 being on. I can't find it now.
So it says so that's for the full-time enrollment. They changed the definition of full-time enrollment, so it'll impact the maximum Pell Grant award for students taking only 12 credits, which will cut $1,500. But it's only for those 12 credits. But the Pell Grants are still being expanded. It's only $1,400 just because you're only getting that 12 credits. So you have to have a maximum of 12 to not have that deducted or not taking 12 credits.
Basically,
not even exactly, Kitty. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So basically, guys, you're telling me that the Pell Grant is not being lowered by $2,000.
Nope.
If you were taking lower than 12 credits, you are not getting that Pell Grant, or it's being lowered by that.
Are you going to college full time now under this bill? But I'm trying to tell y'all they were gonna lower it to 5,000. The maximum was gonna be 5,000. I don't see that anymore. Is that what Senate took out?
I think you were lying to.
Taking more. Yeah, you had a student taking one semester credit to for it to count, and then they were maxing out like Pell grants that they didn't have to pay back. Do you see how they were manipulating the system? So this is not a workaround. This is a piece of legislation. This is a piece of legislation to say, hey, listen, dum-dums, brilliant. We've had a lot of Democrats in office that have let you just basically screw the taxpayer. But here's the deal. Regardless if you're a college student at 22 or 50, if you're going to school and you're not even taking a full semester workload, you're not going to get the full amount. But I mean, I hope that helps make obvious sense to you. And if at that point you feel cheated, then it's beyond entitled. It's just a little stupid.
Why you guys keep saying I'm entitled? Because I'm younger. That's what it is. I don't care though.
What is your definition of entitled? What is your? Give me an example of what you.
I think there's like other things I'm picking up here.
This one out. Let's work this one out.
I ass and fucking collect everything, collect all the benefits, and just sit on my fucking ass. No, I don't do that shit. I work.
Lazy. No. You can be a hardworking, entitled asshole. Okay, so don't confuse lazy for entitled. Now, a lot of times, many times, those that are entitled are also lazy, but it's not mutually exclusive. So, for an example, you can sit here in this country, this beautiful, God bless America, country that we live in, and have all these constitutional rights. We've got good, there's some great cops, there's great judges, we've got our judicial system, we've got all of these human rights and abilities that we have, and I can be an entitled little shithead and get out of school at let's say 25 and feel as though it is owed to me. Things are owed to me. Now, I might have a job and I'm not lazy. I'm not sitting on my ass like you said, but I could think that because of my race, I should be given a promotion instead of the hard work and merit that I put into it. Because of my ethnicity or religious affiliation, I should be able to go before a judge and get certain, get a pass on certain things. I should be allowed to have. I'm giving poor examples, but maybe Abby can give me way better examples than this. But for those that feel as though they're entitled, they don't have any understanding of why you have what you have, respect for why you have what you have, where it came from, and the hard work that goes into it. It just is owed to you. It's owed to you. It's not. Nothing is owed to you. Nothing's owed to you. There's plenty of countries where it would be really hard to be in the shoes that you're in and be a college student like you are. That's not owed to you.
And I agree 100%. So
I get what you're saying, and I found the article.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Fuck.
go ahead, Adam.
Jeez. What would you say your height and what your weight is?
Hey, Adam's not gonna do that weird freaky shit.
I found the San Antonio report thing you guys sent me in chat.
So you're not gonna answer the question?
It's saying that there was a
that short and that wide, huh?
Please don't, because it's disgusting that he would get that
but I just want to see how far the
trips in.
goes.
Yeah, but why don't you find some other fat people that are like, if she is, in a different room that's not real weird and creepy, so that we can continue having a discussion. See, Adam feels as though he's entitled because he has a loud microphone. I'm a loud person. How big is that? I don't have a microphone.
It says it would exclude those.
Would be for the chicken dinners.
Can you stop, please? It would exclude.
Come on, this is a bad troll. Don't do it. Come on, dude.
Adams, tell me your dick suck.
Yeah, I'm interested in what Anomi has to say about Texas. So what?
How do you know this is legit? How do you know this is for real, that they're not slashing it by 23%? How do you know they're not doing that?
By the way, you lost me when you said fuck the 4th of July.
Because fuck 4th of July, because it's a fucking dictatorship out here. Your daddy.
Good. Now you sound like he is. Now I want it.
Didn't you want to celebrate a holiday that gives you an excuse to make some ribs?
Now look, you excuse me.
Now I can explain how we entitled
to everyone.
One at a time.
I literally
I said
I mean
Slow
it,
it down.
everyone. I don't know why people continue talking. You excuse me of being racist, right? When I was telling you about like the changes in the student loan as an educator, yet now you're just like showed who's the racist here. I just want to show you your hypocrisy.
She's
That's all.
clearly on
Sarah,
the
I would
spectrum.
say
Like,
that
I don't even know why you guys are entertaining this.
Sorry.
Okay, this is an example of being
Wait, one at a
listen,
time.
like you
One
wanted,
at a
okay,
time.
you wanted an example of being entitled. Here's a beautiful little. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful little girl that lived in Oregon, and she felt so freaking entitled that she deserved all the constitutional. She had freedom of speech. She had things like her ability to her all of her amendments, right? She could the right to shut the F up. She could search and seizure. She could literally all of these wonderful things, right? And then she gets in Clubhouse and on mic she goes, "Fuck the 4th of July." Now, as having a father that served in the United States military and fought in Vietnam, if you feel so entitled that you hate our country to say fuck the 4th of July, get the fuck out of our country. There's a government release.
We hit that shit when we
Go to North Korea. Try Russia.
Can I just say one thing?
I'm a
Can I
U.S.
just say
citizen.
one thing?
I can say that whenever
I just came up to say one thing.
Let JB speak.
Let JB speak, please.
I really just came up to say one thing, and this is God's honest truth. Two things, really. Happy 4th of July, everybody. God bless America.
Before JB.
And Sarah is definitely not a racist. That's all I got. Thank you, people.
Can I ask a question? Nami, let me ask you a question because also I'm a college student myself and I'm a college athlete myself, so I know where
It's in Moni. Where'd you get Nami?
I mean, no, but I didn't know how to say her name. That's my fault. I apologize, my bad. But they can ask you a question. The simple fact, okay, well, how do you know that effectively it's going to affect student loans in per se? And how do you know that's going to take 2% from your Pell Grant? Say, how do you know that for a fact? You know that's exactly what it's going to do. You know that for 100% fact that it's true that's going to do that.
They're going to attempt to lower a maximum award. The award was $7,395.
I like what you said. You said attempt. You said attempt. I love what you said. You said attempt. That means hey, we're gonna try to do it, but guess what? 9 times out of 10, 100 times, 10 times out of 10, it's not gonna fucking happen because you gotta think about it. Everybody has college students in their families. Everybody has people who goes to college. And the thing is, when you're talking about people who can't afford to go to college, they need stuff like this. They're not the criminals. They're not the ones defrauding the fucking government. The whole point of this fucking bill passing was for fucking COVID. Where all these people were scamming the fucking government, was robbing the government all this money. I told people, hey, it's going to come back to bite us in the ass. And guess what happened? We had to cut things like Medicaid. We had to cut things like certain Social Security. Because people were scamming Social Security. They were using dead fucking military people names to get their fucking Social Security. And these were people that weren't even fucking they're fucking dead. That's why you have to look at the fact before you just say, oh, well, fuck Trump and fuck this. Because you understand, it's different things tied in to money that's involved around the country. If somebody takes from one area, somebody has to make up for that fucking area. It's not, oh, well, it's free money going. Money doesn't grow on fucking trees. I'm just sorry to say that. It doesn't grow on trees, so you have to look at that fact. You feel me? And my bad if I interrupt you or anything. I just want to get that off my chest.
Okay, but do not hear me out at all. I don't think none of you guys hear me out. It's okay though. Nobody does. I'm good.
No, I'm hearing you out because I understand where you're coming from. Because I'm also college student. Like it might be different in my point because I'm getting paid to go to school, and it's different, right? You're going to school. You're taking Pell Grants. You're taking. When I was in JUCO, I did that, right? I survived off of student loans. Now NIL money, totally different thing. You gotta understand, right?
What sport do you play?
I play college football.
What position?
Right tackle.
What's your team? What's your team?
Wait, hold on.
No. Ask him who his team is. Ask him who his team is.
Hold on a second. Ladies, a little control. Jesus Christ, what's going on? Support this like chill out. Papa, you said right tackle? You're a big dude then. But those quarterbacks are making the NLI money.
Well, they are, but I'm recent, and I don't want to just put my number out there though, but in the year of 2024, I touched a total of 365 G's. That's just all.
And you know what you did? Yo, seriously, I don't know what school you go to, and I'm trying to dox you, but you deserve every fucking penny you make.
Damn right he does.
Thank you.
Not only does it deserve it, but you want to do something, Papa? Benoni, shut the fuck up for a second.
Right?
You gotta be quiet.
But she doesn't really understand what the word entitled means. It's driving me nuts.
Crazy.
Everyone quiet. Everyone quiet. Quiet, idiot. Quiet. Papa, I would hire you. You have an attitude that is positive, and the difference between the two of you, you're both in college, and I as an employer would absolutely, just from listening to you, would look at you and see a very positive future in whatever work.
Counsel, can I ask him a
I'm
question?
a computer science. They're gonna have a great
you shut up for a second. Matt, move her down, bro. She's disrupting.
Yeah, you gotta be quiet. Go ahead, JB.
Yo,
She's definitely entitled.
100%. Kitty, you're gorgeous. Yo, Papa, what conference is your school in? I'm not trying to dox you.
Oh, right now I'm in the Southland Conference now, so I moved that FCS, but they matching the same money amount I was getting when I was at Georgia State, which was in the Sun Belt Conference.
I was gonna say, try to get into the SEC, bro. That's where the money's at.
I mean, it is, but it's like, man, they're paying me almost as close to what I would make, and it's like, you know, let me ask you one more question before I give it back to Abby, who's probably the smartest person on that. So you get this 365, right, which you deserve every penny. Do you also get room and board and education included? Yeah, all of that. Yeah, all of that's included. Yeah, scholarship, everything. Even stipend checks.
What are you studying?
Right now, I'm getting my master's in computer science. I'm getting AI Tech and
You have one non-entitled computer science kid, and then you got one.
What a difference! What a complete difference between the two of them.
So you guys gonna praise him
Sensationally.
athlete. So you guys see me different because
no,
I
bright.
And I
no, he has comments next to his head, and he speaks articulately.
Let me tell you something. Okay, let me tell you something. Okay, you should just drop out right now. Because if you're going to take that type of entitled attitude and the way that you speak into the workforce, you might as well just drop out now, save some money, find a man with some means, marry him, and start popping out babies. Because
that's
you
actually
never
really
make it in corporate
sounded
America.
nice.
You
never
sound
make it in corporate America,
America,
baby,
bitch.
like
I'm
this.
leaving this fucking
But
guys, so
we are making America great again. We're changing the mountain.
I'm just telling you guys, this girl is not American. This girl has other issues going on.
Hold on.
Yeah, she's not well. It's why you're not giving me even saying anything.
Fucking entitled person. She gets North Korea, Russia, China.
One at a time.
Let me just tell you this. Look, so from looking from the outside in, right, you think, okay, I might be entitled, I might have this. First of all, my dad set up to where, because you know, my pops was in the military, retired lieutenant colonel. Thanked him for his service. I fucking love my father, right? I love my mom. My dad, I listened to my dad, and he told me, look, son, you're making all this fucking money. You're not finna touch that fucking money and spend it on shit, right? Because I did do some dumb shit when I first got some money. I bought a car or two. You know, I got a couple of toys. But the thing is, it's set up to where now is, I don't see none of that money. It's invested in BlackRock and Vanguard account that is building fucking savings APY percentage of fucking interest every fucking year. And I'm not touching it at all because guess what? I'm not in the NFL yet. I haven't gotten to my career yet, so why would I want to touch that money and ruin it? Because say if I don't make it to the NFL, say if I don't get the job I need to have something to set me up. Right now, I'm currently talking to you while working right now. I'm actually driving and doing a medical coding business right now as I'm talking to you. You got to understand? I work. You get what I'm saying? I work too. You understand? Working and the way you're working, I'm working. We're doing the same work. Now, don't get me wrong. It is going to different spending, probably. But you gotta understand, at the end of the day, you got to go take what you got to go take. You can't complain to nobody about it. If I can go use the same argument that I'm a black man in distress, I'm this in distress, or they took shit from me. Fuck no. I'm as equal as everybody around me. So this is needed every day, and I'll be like, I'm as equal as everybody because I feel like everybody's human beings.
We're all as you.
We all bleed the same. We bleed the same. You feel me? We all share the same. We all came from the same God. We all bleed the same. We all in the same country. So what's the difference between you and somebody else who's doing the same thing you're doing? You just gotta work harder than that next person. That's all it is. That's all it is, man. You know, you got some people who get silver spoons in their mouth. You got people who came out the mud like me. And you gotta understand, you just gotta work like it. You came out the mud. So just get what you gotta go get. Stop complaining. Go ahead and fucking complain. That's what my coach told me.
You know, the difference between me and you have parents. You have two parents that support you. You assume that everybody is like you, but it's not.
No, I never assumed that.
I had two parents that had 8 kids. My parents said, I kept you alive till you were 18. You want to go to college? You should. Get a flipping job and work your ass off. And I got a degree.
I work. You guys act like I don't have a job. I have a job. Yes, I should be having another job because of the rent here. Yes, I should have another job. But you guys are acting like, can you shut up, doctor? But you guys are acting like I don't have a job. The way you guys are speaking to me.
How much do you make per hour? Let's put it that way.
Why does this shit matter, dude? This is so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. What the fuck? I don't give a fuck. But yeah,
Well, no, because you're complaining about you can't pay your Pell Grant or whatever like that. So yeah, numbers are super important when you're talking about loans and you're talking about numbers and shit like
But
that.
she's still a student.
Do you hear I am?
She's still a student, though.
I have a question for you. How do you think it will go over if you came in to my office, someone's office, applying for work, and you said, fuck America, fuck the 4th of July? How do you think that would go?
I would not.
How do you think I would respond, or any of us would respond, if you came into our workplace applying for work saying that? What do you think?
I would throw her
I
out.
obviously wouldn't get the fucking job, but I know what
Use your common sense.
So you think that passing one interview question, Abby's too stupid to ask like gentle questions that are going to show your performance?
Wait. Let's ask the obvious question that we're all asking. Why do you hate America so much?
I love you, Matt.
Yeah, you're demanding so much
is
from
making me and my friends' life very hard, and you know, living in America is already hard as it is.
Well, it's not just Trump.
Is making
you
Trump
get the
and
world
his administration is making it harder. Don't interrupt me.
Yelling.
Naomi, can I ask you a question? So, like, I get it. You can, like, be unhappy with Trump and whatever, whoever's in office. A lot of Americans do that. But, I mean, objectively, do you really think that you say it's hard to live here, but, I mean, outside of the rest of the developed world, I mean, you would be singing a whole different tune if you like grew up in like a shitty part of Mexico.
Her brain is underdeveloped. She's entitled, and you're talking rooms ahead of her ability to comprehend.
What did Trump do to you or your friends? What did he do to you?
Kill the speaker on stage.
Who cares?
Anami, can I ask you this question? Look, I'm not even asking you. Let me just tell you something. Because obviously you didn't get what I'm saying, right? I literally told you that I came from the same thing you did. Did I have 2 parents? Yes. My mom and dad's are divorced. My mom was in prison. When I was in junior college, when I first started college, my mom was in prison for doing, I ain't gonna tell you what she did, but she did some crazy shit, right? I had to get it on my own. When my mom left, I put baby entitlement shit without the fucking door. My dad was like, you're going to go work for everything you need to go get. So for me to continue to play football, and if you know about junior college, You know, that's the toughest fucking situation you can put a football athlete in because you have to fucking eat to survive. You have to fucking live to survive. It is dog eat dog. Like, I was eating fucking ham and cheese sandwiches. I would be lucky to get that. So for ramen noodles, you know how hard it is to play a full football game off of ramen noodles? Do you understand? Like, where I'm at now was never what I was at now was never where I was at now. Like, I was never at this point where I could say, oh, if everything done, I can go and pull out a fucking investment account. Hell no, I appreciate it because of all the work I put in to get here. You gotta understand, you have to work for it. And I mean, understand, you're taking 16 credit hours. Congratulations. You're working 2 jobs. I did it. I worked 7 days a week for fucking 5 months. That shit killed me. I was begging for a day off, but I couldn't do it because I had to fucking buy a car. I had to go do this. I had to go do that. You gotta say, if people doing the same thing you're doing, just stop complaining and just go do it.
Jay, I take it back. I think they should actually pay these people more. I think that like those video games, like the NCAA, I'd buy up a whole hunk of them if I thought that this boy's number would have been on a jersey, and I'd pass them out to my nieces and nephews so that every time he'd get paid for it. That's what I truly believe.
No, you guys praise athletes and hear more.
No, you're not hearing it. No, you're not hearing the point. I work harder than you know what I mean? You're a regular college student, right? So after class, guess what you have? 18, 19 hours of your day. Not even 8. After class starts like 2 hours, you have 23 hours, 22 hours of your day to go do whatever the fuck you want. I have to go to practice, meetings, I have to go do this, and still go work. And still go do this, still go apply for myself. I'm doing 10 times the work you're doing. It's nice to know me. I get 4 hours of sleep, and I gotta go to practice because I haven't made it to the NFL yet. Now, if you were to talk, okay, if I'm in the NFL, then that's a different conversation. And yeah, you're putting in more work than me because at that point I'm getting paid to play football. But I'm not there yet. And I'm not at that point to where I say, hey, I'm making life-changing money. It's great money now, but what is $700,000? You can spend that shit up in 1 year. That's not the money I'm looking to fucking set back on. No, it's not. I'm working probably harder than you.
Same degree. Same degree.
It is not about being an athlete. It's about working to get where you gotta go. Nobody's going to give you shit. If you're not seeing that yet, that's what the fuck America is about. You gotta go fucking take it. Literally. My spot isn't guaranteed. I got a young dude right now trying to take my spot now. He wants my money right now. If I was to get hurt, he'll get happy because guess what? He has my fucking spot. You have to go take what you want. It ain't I can fucking sit here and sit back. Take it the legal way. What you want. That's what America is built off of, literally.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot. Girl owns stolen land. Stolen land. So yeah. I get that.
It's not stolen, it's conquered, and there's a measurable difference.
It's stolen! It's stolen land! Don't fucking call me! It's stolen! We are all stolen land!
There was no...
Matt,
Wait,
I would invite people to see.
Stolen. If you were talking about the Mexican American War, for example,
No, you can't, Adam.
it was conquered at the end of a gun. You don't have to like that, but that's how historians talk about that shit. If you want to talk about it colloquially as stolen, fucking fine. But if you look at any of the academic literature, it's conquered, not fucking stolen. That's
they can say, the books can say conquered or whatever, but it's stolen in my books.
Your parents,
yes, which is a way to write off human nature and how it has functioned for 10,000 years. There is something known as the Million Dialogue, and here is the truth of life. The strong do what they will, and the weak suffer what they must. Only with a firm hand can you protect the weak, and having a firm hand, at least in the United States, means being rather vicious on the international stage. It means being vicious in the pursuit of our aims. You don't have to like that, but you're in a country that pursues shit that way. So I would suggest you do a little more than tell me it's stolen, and we have maybe a talk, say, about Tecumseh. And now his land was actually stolen. Instead of writing off everything, including the Mexican-American War, stolen. I'm happy to have a conversation with you about Native Americans having their treaties violated. I agree. That shit is actually stolen. Well, hold on.
That was a direct quote.
Well, wait. Hang on. So hang on. So Marshall knows exactly what the fuck he's talking about. He's one of the he's a very, very trusted historian. He knows what the fuck he's talking about. So if you want to, like he said, if you want to have a conversation with them, I would love to absolutely have a conversation with them. And and just for the knowledge impact of it, you know what I mean? Because obviously, I think you've been a little brainwashed as far as what you've been taught already, and it's one of those things where maybe it's time to hear the other side, just to listen. I mean, that's basically all it is. It's just to listen.
So I have a
Okay, but you
I don't know what your parents do or your grandparents or your aunts and uncles, but I gotta believe someone within your family tree owns a house, like actually not renting, owns one. So from what you're suggesting that we're on stolen land, do you ever tell them they need to sign their home over to the Native Americans that live in Oregon or wherever you live? Do you ever suggest that to them, to give their homes back to the sovereign nations? Huh? You know me?
That doesn't make any sense. But anyway,
it doesn't make any sense. And know me. You just said that we're on stolen land.
Stolen land.
So I'm saying
how
to
you
you, no,
word
don't
it.
talk over
You're
me,
saying-
sweetheart. Do not talk over me. I am suggesting, since you say that we are on stolen land, have you suggested to either your parents, your grandparents, aunts and uncles, or someone in your family that owns real estate, owns their home, that they should sign it over in fee simple to the Native Americans that once dwelled in the area where their home is? Have you suggested? Huh?
No,
Okay.
because she's
why
fucking.
are you
No, because she's fucking stupid.
Confused. Why are you wording it that way?
Bingo. That's ringing a bell.
She's being very, very specific. And I mean, what she's saying exactly is, if you think it's stolen and you have so much condescension toward it, which your voice just drips with condescension when you say it, then you should suggest that the land you live on, if it was part of one of those treaties that was broken, and if you're curious, I dropped to you a History Channel link, which is treaties broken with Native Americans, where we can genuinely have a discussion about things being stolen. But your implicit argument here is one that is colloquial, and it is one that doesn't refer to the material in the way the academic discipline does. I'm not saying you're not allowed to be colloquial. I'm saying you should at least have a knowledge of the academic understanding. That way you can parse between the two.
Yeah, I mean,
Not-
I can
not like
connect
you
you
don't
to
have
the
a great
Pyre
opinion.
if you want. They used to live in Oregon, and they're still an active tribe. If you want to connect your family
You
to
like
them, to
Gorilla
give them
Time?
info. The
But-
Pirates. That's the ones who
Okay,
get
guys.
fire with.
Guys, okay. You guys have some really good points. I hate to say it because we always have different views and it gives me the ick. But you guys have good points. You know, it is. What? Okay, doctor, he's being racist now. I can say it now.
Thank you for
He's
being
racist.
open-minded.
Doctor's being racist.
And Nomi, can I ask you a question? The only reason I'm asking is because Oregon is we know the history, the demographics of the state. Are your parents from did they move there from another state?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. My family is originally from the South.
So, I mean, and so you're an African American girl. Did you grow up there?
Ew, don't call me African American, I swear.
Well, I don't know how else to put it.
American,
I
an
never
American.
seen Africa
That
day in my life.
I'm
I
hungry,
would
but
be
she's still in.
I haven't seen Africa a day in my life. Like, I don't know what it fucking looks like.
Okay, fine.
There
Black,
you
whatever
go.
you call
Now
yourself.
you sound like a real American. Now you can say Happy 4th of July
Looks like the
with the
bottom
rest
of
of
your
us.
30 feet.
Oh, Kitty, she is a real American. Her irritation over this is one of the most American things you could do. As Tocqueville said in On Democracy, America's the only country he knew of at the time in which we would hold an election and then get into a room and argue for the next 2 to 4 years about the person you just put in. So having an issue with our country's history, that's That's totally reasonable. She
It's
just
not
already
a
admitted
problem with their
she
country's
just moved
history.
away.
Well, no, it's the entitlement. It's the lack of having any kind of national pride or being patriotic, especially on the days that like people like literally lost life and limb for us to have these constitutional rights.
Do you think your particular view is convincing, or do you think it's off-putting? Because I'll tell you.
I don't give a shit.
I'll tell
I'm
you,
not
doing
trying to
convincing things. I'll tell you,
what
for
I'm
doing
saying.
convincing things, like in politics, that's not the thing I would say to somebody to convince them.
Obviously not a
Because
politician. Don't give a shit.
It's
I
not
can leave that to you.
It's because you're sitting
No, I
in
want
judgment of her perspective, even though she's changed her mind.
Okay.
People were allowed to change their mind.
I've heard some like really shitty. I've heard a lot of shitty advice from both sides.
First of all, you weren't even in the room to hear half the things she said. If she's being open-minded now, I'll point that out. But the important thing, Marshall,
being able to say your country is terrible is one of the most American things you can do. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's cool.
And I'm not trying to persuade her to take her free speech. But while she's busy saying my country is, our country is so terrible, that's wonderful. Then I'm not trying to convince her or proselytize at all. What I am telling her to do is get the fuck out of the country. I'll buy her a plane ticket. North Korea, Russia, China, wherever the fuck she wants to go. That's what I'm trying to say. I'll buy the fucking plane ticket.
Of your own, which doesn't do anything more than make you feel good. You feel good after you've dressed her down.
Oh,
That's
man.
what it does. It's emotional masturbation.
Wait, Marshall.
What you're
Guys trying to get in, by the way. Sorry, JB.
Go take another
No, it's okay. Marshall, respectful.
Lowe's trying to get in, but go ahead, G.
I just want to say, Marshall, respectfully, Kitty definitely gets pretty privileged, so let's be nice to her.
Who's trying to get in?
You want to go? D-Loan 216. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I've been hearing, I haven't been here since the beginning of the conversation, but from what I've been hearing, I definitely wanted to address a couple of things. But as far as, like, when it comes to things that Marshall is saying, so it seems a little disingenuous when you say it's time for one group of people who've been silenced and been oppressed to listen to the other side of things. It seems a little disingenuous. Like we haven't had a strong enough voice in the matters that affect us the most.
You guys are given a fucking huge microphone. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're right. That is right.
And
Remember Black Lives Matter? What was that all about?
About white people.
No. Nope. There were black people that were running that fucking thing, and you know what? They stole the fucking money.
Yeah, they took the money from you guys. Now, see, hey, Marshall, this is somebody who's like pouring out about his own class, color, and creed. That's one thing. He's a proud American that feel any kind of way.
No, he's doing the typical. He's a professional.
Marshall, when you
he's
hate
a professional.
America,
you know what?
just
he's
because you're an American, then get the fuck out of my country. Do you understand what I'm saying, Marshall? I don't give a shit if he's black, white, Republican, Democrat, male, female, gay, straight. None of these fucking things matter to me. He can sit there and complain and talk like everybody else. But the problem, Marshall, is you're a basic rhino, and you always have been. You should go work for either the CPP or if you want the Democratic Party. I'm sure the DNC would take you in a heartbeat. You sit there.
Okay, this is so cringe.
Parties. I'm saying punching down is the wrong thing to do, and you know it's the wrong thing to do. You are punching down.
What the wrong thing to do is, I'm not criticizing the gentleman that was just speaking. I don't agree with him, but like Voltaire, I might not agree with what he has to say, Marshall, but I will defend my death.
You're allowed to defend what you want.
It's the chicks before him that hates our country, Marshall. You're a fucking rhino, man. Sorry, Jay, I didn't mean to cut.
Unhelpful. Again, this has nothing to do with
I don't care. It's my country. My dad fought for this country.
It has nothing to do with the way you should treat people. You shouldn't treat people like
Kitty,
that.
Kitty, I'm not gonna lie, but you sitting here saying, "Oh, I work my ass off, I do all this," giving like the same, just honestly, like really shitty conservative talking points. Like it was so cringe. And you and I usually get along, but I honestly was like, holy shit! Like it was so hard to listen to.
Marshall and I do this at least once every 6 months for the past 4 years, when I have to like grab him by his collar and shake him around a little bit to say, hey, if you're really that gung ho on the Republican Party, or at least
but most of you people who call someone like Marshall a rhino, most of you who call somebody like Marshall a rhino are like not fuck. You guys are people like or walkaway Democrats and shit. Is who I largely hear giving them shit, and a lot of and it's cringe.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Like most of you aren't even actual fucking conservatives.
Let me jump in there. Kitty, hold on one second. Hold on, you're playing a second. D. Leon, hold on one second. Okay, I got you, bro. I promise you. Right after I'm done. I promise. I just need you to mute up, though. Thank you. So let me just say this, Kitty. I'm not a Republican, right? I'm in the Republican space. My friend, most of my friends are
though. I give like certain.
Let me see, Kitty. I didn't interrupt you one time. Show me the same respect. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna stand on this. Marshall's probably one of the best human beings on this app and in real life. As an American on July 4th. Hold on, see. Okay, then you need to shut the fuck up and learn a little respect for the stage. Man, if you want to bring her back up at your room, I apologize. I moved down because she doesn't shut the fuck up. I don't know what's going on with her today. But I'm going to say this. Marshall's my friend. I don't give a fuck who he voted for in 2016. I don't give a fuck who he votes for in 2036. He's a good man. And that's one of the problems with this app. We like to dogpile on good people. So, Kitty, you like to fucking... I want to move you back down. I don't give a fuck, lady. I showed you respect. Show me the same respect. But one thing, I'm not going to sit here and let you fucking punch at Marshall when he's just a good person. Maybe you should take lessons instead of holding a mirror up to him. Thank you.
Okay, can I respond to you, JB? Can I respond to JB? No, that was directed to me. I don't think anybody else on stage you were speaking to, unless I'm wrong. Okay, awesome. Thank you. And Pepe, this time I got this, okay? So Jay, I love you. I do. And Marshall, and when I say that, I'm saying this has been a friendship between, and I'm not saying that y'all's isn't real here on Clubhouse, is just as much as mine and his is, but Marshall and I have been friends longer than you have known Marshall, okay? We have had blood, sweat, and tears and side chats in rooms where it's like, man, Marshall, where I can actually hear where he's coming from on certain aspects, and then I can say, do you hear what you said? This is what you said, Marshall, and this is where the overall people, I don't care if they're Republican or Democrat, I don't give a shit, but if they consider themselves to be conservative or really liberal, then they would say, hey, I'm in accord with that, or like yourself. Or if they're conservative, they would say, hey, Marshall, that doesn't sound right. So this is the kind of civil. Excuse me, I'm getting interrupted again, Jack.
I apologize that you are the police of conservatives. I apologize. Kevin.
I was gonna say, who died and made you god of the Republican Party? Nobody. Fucking nobody.
I don't give a shit.
We'll be real friends. You and I are friends.
You're being disingenuous as fuck.
You and I are friends. But JB and I know each other in real life, and we're better friends. He comes to my defense every time, and you don't.
Okay.
You are friends.
Do you know where the phrase "blow smoke up my ass"? Do you know where that came from, Marshall? I know you do. Do you remember where the historic phrase of "don't blow smoke up my ass" came from?
No. Not blowing smoke up your ass, I'm just being honest.
This was around the Revolutionary War. I'm shocked, of course. Because, see, I don't give a shit about what freaking title you or myself or JB or anybody on Clubhouse claims. I don't care if they're white or black or gay or straight or Republican or Democrat. What I care about is being a fucking American. So when
what is a fucking American? You said you care about being a fucking American. What is that?
Hey, JB, why the fuck don't you move Pepe down, Mod?
And I agree with him. Because you're stacking a ration right now.
Okay, everybody. D. Leon was trying to talk. So can we just go back, let him finish what he was saying, and we can respond to it?
Yes, Abby. I just want to say, yes, Abby.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I asked you to shut up lightly. But I just want to say one last thing, and I'll be quiet. I'll listen. Man, I apologize if I'm too up front here, but I had a real life problem. No bullshit. At first it was called Marshall because that was his lane I needed help with. You know what this man did? Whatever I could do for you, and he actually helped me. That's a friend. This is a good dude right here. You people want to tear down the good people on this app. And not only that, he's probably one of the smartest people on this app. So shame on anybody that goes after Marshall.
So wait a minute. Do you know the difference between disagreeing and tearing down, Jamie? Do you know the difference between the two? Because I don't know.
It's okay. Let's just move forward.
Leon, why don't you finish what you were saying?
Go ahead, Elon. Go.
So basically, to the point of what was being said about stolen versus conquered, when we got talking about the treaties that happened, they got broken. So if somebody was to sell you something, and y'all got an agreement that they were transferring it over to you for in exchange for something else that they wanted from you, and then you put that on the other side, was it now conquered or stolen?
Are you talking about the 40 acres? And the old bullshit?
Let's just break this down. You want to talk about this in basic contract law? Like someone makes an offer, someone accepts the offer, consideration is passed, and there's a meeting of the minds, there's an agreement. Are we talking about that?
Right. Because essentially that's what it was. There were nations that did have a contractual agreement, but
how did they have the contractual agreement? Like, was it actually something agreed upon? And was it ratified by those nations by treaty, like we have to do in the U.S.?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Those were the treaties. Those treaties were.
Give me an example. Leon, give me an example.
I mean, no, I'm not speaking specifically. I'm talking as far as agreements go. And when you say that.
Well, but that's a really important. Leon, I'm not really trying to cut you off, but I want to dialogue with you on this. So when you talk about agreements, you and I can have an agreement, and it could be a bona fide agreement, it could be an enforceable agreement. When nations have agreements, those nations have obligations with respect to how they can enter into agreements, and those agreements have to get ratified by the individual nations. Like our country can't just enter into a treaty without it going through Congress. It has to be ratified. So that's why I say, could you give me an example? Or when you say if someone's going back on it, what are they going back on? An actual treaty, or an in spirit agreement, something, a memorandum of understanding? Like what?
These are all different forms of contracts, but I'm speaking in general when it comes to an agreement. If there was a treaty that existed that was ratified by each side, that was agreed upon by each side, and then one person or one party in the agreement went back on what they were supposed to deliver in order for that contract to be lawful.
So they didn't pass consideration, you're saying?
No, not past consideration. Past consideration is when you're trying to get something new.
No. Consideration is a legal term. It means the money. In order to have an agreement, there has to be consideration. There has to be, you have to have something of value, even if it's $1. You have to have something of value. But they never paid, they reneged on an existing contract? That's what you're saying?
Hold on, say that one more time.
Was it a reneging on an existing contract, or was it a repudiation of an offer or an acceptance?
There was a reneging on the initial terms of the agreement. That's what I'm saying. This is the.
Well, but you're saying there was an agreement.
Right. There was an agreement. There was consideration offered on both ends, and one person did not actually deliver on consideration.
So there was a non-performance under the agreement.
Exactly.
Okay, sorry, right, so I can break it down for you. Right.
All right, yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, so now my question is, when it comes to the point of conquering versus stealing, I see that Marshall had made a differentiation between the two. So I wanted to know at what point is it considered stolen in his opinion versus conquered, meaning that
let me send you this list of treaties It's because of the History Channel by the author Sarah Pruitt is her name. Now, copy.
So the list of treaties?
It's a list of treaties the Americans broke in which I believe legally and historically argued enough. If you don't honor a treaty and pay X amount of land is yours, and then like if you sign, see, well, that's violating a treaty and colloquially could be considered so. Historians are going to refer to it as conquered, but you get the point.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's why I wanted to see if it was something that you were using that.
Check your back check there now.
I got you.
By the way, just to let you know that Abby is a lawyer, and that was good the way that you were speaking because it shows that you have interest in what it is. So that's
sure. I actually the thing that started me on studying law was I took a business contract law in high school, which was so interesting to me. I just kept on with it even when I wasn't able to get into classes for it. I just kept doing it and study things better.
Delim, I'll add to your consent.
That's great.
I'll add to your and send you a list of those like websites for those actual treaties. Okay, sweet, yeah. I'll see what I can dig up here in like the next hour. And they're usually going to come from either like university sites or like sites about the topic in particular. But since it's contract law, I figured you'd be interested in reading this.
Definitely, I appreciate that.
Thank you, DeLeon. Great share. I just want to do a quick room reset for Maddie. This is President Trump. Guys who have pink ticket cash it in. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Back.
Yeah, happy 4th, guys. Where did my emojis go? I was looking for the sound thing. Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Thank you very much. So yeah, I don't know what we want to talk about. Let's we did the big beautiful bill. Are we done with that, Abby? I don't know where we are in that one.
Yeah, I had a question I asked in the room yesterday, in Roger's room. I'm going to ask it again. So it's July 4th. We're on the app. I'm about to go see fireworks where I am. And I was curious if people this year were nervous gathering in public places. If there's an anxiety or if they're comfortable going to the parade. Parades are probably done in most places.
Yes, that's why I went to work.
Parades. Yeah, did you go to parades? Are you going out to an area where there's a lot of people gathering to see fireworks? Like, nope. Just curious generally how people are approaching the holiday.
Well, and not only that, but what's the status on the Snow Kings thing? Is it actually, are there people protesting, or is it fizzled out, or what?
I just sorry, wait. I was just looking at X right now. They are protesting in downtown LA. Yeah, it's about 300 or 400 people by the federal building again. So it's definitely back on again. Looks like they're going to be doing some stuff here.
Is there an anxiety about lone wolf attacks to public gatherings for the 4th of July and some of the warnings that came out from Homeland Security? And has it affected people in gather?
Not me, but I'm just curious, would this be connected to Iran or?
Yes, it's directly connected to Iran, and not only that, but it's also connected to the people protesting for the Palestine and everything else. So yeah, it's all connected. Yeah.
But there's been threats, and so that was just curious. I mean, I'm going to gather at something, but I was just wondering, with people in the room, did you have anxiety about it, or did you go? Or wait.
To the Lord.
Yeah.
I got that. Just best believe I got me some protection on me just in case I feel like it's getting kind of sticky. But I'm in Texas, so it's kind of a stand your ground there, like if you're near your vehicle. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in Nevada, similar laws.
I mean, I would be afraid if maybe I was like, I don't know, pro-Israel or Jewish gathering, maybe I'd be more heightened. But other than that, I don't really.
I don't think that's gonna pop off in Dallas, at least. Everybody here is fucking proud of 4th of July, so I don't know if they're gonna do any crazy. I don't know. That might just be a fucking suicide thing for them if they fucking try to go shoot somebody or something. I don't know.
Do you think it stopped people this year from gathering like they usually do?
Yeah, because you got some people that are still nervous, but there's all the uneducated people on the situation that's going on. You look on TikTok, you look on Twitter, you look on certain areas of the news, and some people run with certain narratives that gets them scared, gets them to sit in their house, and it was even some people that didn't even go to work.
But did you say you were in Texas?
Yeah, I'm in Dallas. Yeah.
Okay, I'm in Houston.
Oh yeah. So you're about the same, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's all the uneducated people in there. I feel like they're scared, pretty much.
Are you from there originally?
Yeah, born and raised.
We'll have to send this to you offline. I have one friend who was in the NFL. He's pretty major and played for UT, and he is from Dallas.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. UT Austin, that's smooth. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Papa. DJ, do you have a projection of what year